Sometimes during a difficult car project, all you need is a little luck. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Is this thing gonna work? So far, my concept van that I've nicknamed the Space Van has been a bit of a roller coaster. I was able to get the van's gas engine to start almost immediately after getting it back to my shop, but it never started again. I was able to charge the high voltage battery enough to drive in EV mode, but then it stopped dead in the street and I've never been able to drive it again. I had the motor bracket fixed and then the motor ripped it to shreds again. I was even able to revive weak battery cells, but that hasn't made any real difference in actually being able to drive this van. Now, I've also locked myself in the back of the Space Van twice, so clearly this thing is trying to kill me, and it just seems that the Space Van always gives me just enough to keep me motivated, but then shatters my dreams each and every time I think I've gotten somewhere. If there was any time I could use a little luck, now would definitely be it. Okay, so I let the concept van sit over the weekend, and I hadn't really gotten anywhere with this computer that controls the screen inside, which is dead. So if you guys saw the last video, you know I hooked up a monitor and a keyboard and a mouse, and I just kind of gave it one more shot. I was planning on sending the computer in to see if someone could fix it, and this is where we've gotten. And yeah, I think we just got lucky. So I'm gonna get the mouse and the keyboard working, and let's see what we can see. All right. Whoa, this is it. No way. So Sean, the engineer, one of the guys that built this van, he told me they had programmed a ton of really good stuff in here. And this might be able to help me a lot with figuring out what's going on with the battery, but at the very least, it should give me state of charge. Let's just try. Whoa. Guys, this is like what I live for. This is so cool. No way. Okay, so right now, I guess it's in hybrid mode. Can you switch it? You know, he told me that the screen in there doesn't actually control anything in the vehicle, but he also started building this thing 15 years ago. I don't know, maybe it does. Whoa. Electric gasoline. Oh, here we go, battery. Yeah, I haven't charged it for a few days, so 310 volts. State of charge is at 0. That is not good. But I gotta say, it's nice that we have this information because it can do the calculation on what the state of charge is. You can't just simply go off of the battery voltage. There's a lot more to it, and we don't know exactly how the battery was constructed, but they did back then. What is this? Savings. This is kind of cool. Brake regen, average MPG 10. That's not good. Tuning, traction, force split, coast down regen. Guys, we have to get this van on the road to try all this stuff out. This is nuts. Okay, let's go back. Audio? I don't think it even has speakers, but you know, whatever. They had to show this off. They had to try and sell the van. What is charge? Let's see. Unplug charge cord from vehicle before driving. Okay, so right now it is plugged in. That's the only way I can get this whole computer system to come on without turning the key forward. And even when I do that, I don't know if it always comes on. It's weird. This is Las Vegas. This is totally fake. Like, this is not connected to anything. It's just a picture. You gotta understand, it's a concept car, so they were trying to sell this. So a lot of this stuff is fake, as you guys have seen. What is this Duke Energy thing? Oh, this is for charging time. The screen is not yet developed. I don't know if it ever will be. Although the old CEO is willing to talk to me, we might be doing a Zoom, and he's adamant on buying this van back. So we'll see what happens with that a little bit later. But for now, what I want to see is, you guys gave me some really good ideas on getting the screen to work. One of which was I found this little circuit board that was wrapped in tape, and some of you guys had mentioned that that could be the controller for the screen. Like, it might literally have an on-off button. I didn't see it at first glance, but let's disconnect this. We'll connect it up just like normal with the screen in there and keep going. Okay, so now we just have to plug this in. There are 4 connections. Oh, and there's our light. Yeah, we're getting this red LED flashing, so that's good. This is the cable that we hijacked to run into my computer monitor. And then we have a USB, and then we have this main plug right here. Just started making that noise when I plugged this in. That's the noise it's been making while it's charging, but I've had it plugged in charging for a while now, and it wasn't doing that. Okay, that might just be nothing, I don't know. There's just a lot of unexplainable stuff here with the old Space Van, but No screen yet. Now, if you're wondering, yes, it's a little stressful trying to figure out issues with the Space Van or problematic cars like my CL65. But at the end of the day, they are just cars, and I've been through much worse. And I found that in tough times, it really helps to talk to someone, which is why I'm really excited to introduce to you today's video sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp makes finding a therapist easy by keeping everything online. You just answer a few simple questions, and BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days. Then you just schedule your session, meet your therapist, and you're off to the races. It's just that easy. Now, it can be hard to find a good therapist, and BetterHelp's mission is to make finding a therapist more affordable and more accessible so you guys can get the help you need right away. Whether you have a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, or even if you're just going through a difficult time and simply need someone to talk to, therapy can give you the tools to approach life in a very different way. Now, finding a therapist is a little bit like dating. You might not fit perfectly with the first one, and with BetterHelp, that's not an issue. They will switch you to a new therapist at no additional cost. You don't have to worry about insurance or who's in your network or any of that stuff. They really take care of everything. It's a one-stop shop. It's super easy to get matched up with a therapist. All you got to do is click on my link down below or go to betterhelp.com/legitstreetcars. When you do, you're going to get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. So if you guys are struggling, if you need help with anything, if you just need to clear your mind, give them a try. Click on the link down below. And a big thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Let's do this. I'm going to plug in the safety loop underneath the battery there. That's that big orange plug that will disconnect the high voltage power to the motor and to everything else. I just want to plug that in and see if anything changes on that computer screen. Huh. Okay, so the touch screen input is working. You can hear a beep. Okay. This just is not lighting up. I never got it to do that, but then again, the computer wasn't working, so that makes sense. Where's the key? Just gonna try turning the key forward here and we'll see what happens. Nothing. I'm gonna shut the whole system down. We'll kind of let it maybe reboot altogether. And the only explanation I can come up with for why the computer just works is in the last video, I did find that it had a little 2032 car remote style battery in there that was totally dead. I put a good one in there and it didn't work immediately after I put that in, but it's possible that it reset the BIOS, which is the basic input output system. That's what kind of like reboots the computer every time you start it, which I learned from you guys. A lot of you guys in the comment section know a ton about computers. So everybody had mentioned to restart the BIOS, and maybe it just, that's what I was gonna do. And maybe it just did it sitting over the weekend. Let me know if that makes any sense. I unplugged the van, that computer has now shut off. And then all I'm doing is plugging back in the charge cord. And then this lights up and our monitor works without us turning the key on. But let's see. Okay, I just heard a little beep. So it's booted up back there. Yeah, we would have seen something by now. Okay, so that's still not working, but this is what I was talking about. So I found this in the last video and some of you guys had said that this is basically a remote. It wasn't really plugged in all the way, but I plugged it in the last video. And it's got a bunch of tape and what looks to be buttons. So let's pull the tape back. Oh, this is definitely another one of those Indiana Jones discovery moments. I mean, Indy usually just blows dirt off of stuff and then sees what's written and then has to get it translated and all sorts of stuff. But it's taking the tape off of this circuit board is pretty much a Indiana Jones movie, and I'm Indy. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Okay. That's everything. This green light is not working, but yeah, these are definitely buttons. Let's see. Okay, so far nothing. Yeah, they're not, are they labeled with it? No. Oh, here, like this one says menu. Oh, here, power. I'm holding it right now. I mean, this would be weird if you had to like do this every time to get the screen to come up, especially because it was taped, but that's not working. And this one says menu, that's not working. Select, I think, that's not working. Turn the key forward. Let's see if we can get anything to happen here. I'll hold power down again. Yep, the touch screen is working. We can hear the beeps. Well, that's disappointing. I really thought we had something here. That really stinks. It could just be a bad screen. This plug was a little funky. It's possible this circuit board is bad. Yeah, we got no green light here. All right, well, hey, I'll take a win. We got the information we need. It's just on a computer monitor, so we just need to figure out a monitor situation. But right now, what I really want to do is reconnect the high voltage battery to the rest of the vehicle, see if anything's different. We really got to see that state of charge go, above 0. That could be pretty much all of our issues. And I did trickle charge these cells for a really long time, and 2 of them on that module that was giving us issues they won't charge up all the way. They're giving me a lot of problems. I've had them baking for like 15 hours each, and they get up to a couple volts, and that's about it. So that could be an issue. Okay, this guy's going back in. There we go. All right. I was poking around in here, and take a look at this right here and that. Look at this connector. This guy right here for the screen looks like it plugs in there. So we have a couple of screws we gotta take out, one there, and this guy here. Of course. The touchscreen still works, so right up against the seat, it's making beep noises back there. Okay, this stinks. I can't get this off. I don't want to break it, but I gotta try to plug that in. Let's snip these little guys. Okay, now we can at least move that around. With the zip tie cut, we should be able to get around these capacitors. It's got to get plugged in right there. I could break this all off, but I don't want to. If I don't have to. This should be a game, like an arcade or something. Can you plug this guy in? Oh yeah, look at that. I won that game. Sweet! I'm gonna plug this guy back in, and I don't remember having a green light right there. We got our red light. I'm gonna press some buttons here, see if they do anything. Nothing. I'm gonna turn the key here. Why don't you turn on, screen? We disconnected the van for a few minutes and I just plugged it back in, so let's see what happens here. Buttons still work, still have no screen though. Press some buttons here. This one says power, but it's spelled totally wrong. P-O-E-W-E, what in the world? Oh yeah, look, and then when oh, some kind of clicky noises. This van is so weird. We got new clicky noises with that green LED light coming on, no screen still. We found what looked to be a smoking gun. One of 4 of the connectors basically wasn't plugged into the screen, and it's still not coming on. Give me a break, spaceman! I need more of that luck. Oh, there's that light again. Still no screen, and she's gone. And another weird noise coming from down below. Okay, I just turned the key forward. That still works, still beeps. How are you not working? You had something completely disconnected, and now it's not. Guess what I found on the internet? The screen. Look at how old this box is. I think this is just old, new stock. It had a quality control sticker thing taped over. I don't know. But yeah, here it is. So this just took a few days to get in. And instead of having this right here, it has one of these. But other than that, everything looks to be the same. So we got our 3 connectors. This should work, right? Right? Okay, so we have VGA cable going in. And we have this guy. Okay. That's connected. Oh! Oh! It's working! Yes! We got it! The screen was bad. That was it. I knew that all along. It was disconnected though inside. You'd think we would have been able to get the other one to go, but we got it, guys. Nice! Echo Automotive. So... oh, okay, this is just for the screen itself, so we don't really need to mess with that. There we go. Alright, so it's on VGA. Oh, what in the world? Come back to me. Come back to me. No. Oh, there we go. Windows. She's booting. There we go. Everything's back. Perfect. Screen's a little weird. There we go. And let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Display. So we're plugged into the charger right now, so we have 324 volts, but 0 state of charge. All right, let's pull this film off. I think that's messing with our touch screen. Let's see if that's going to be any better now. That still goes a little crazy. Okay. Yeah, I've been charging this for upwards of 48 hours, and this BB4 cell, it's just no good. The other ones are a little bit low. I haven't been charging them for a while, but 3.2. And this one is just at 0. And I just unplugged the individual charger. Okay, at this point, I am thinking we do have to start disassembling this battery. We have to take that module out of there. With that one cell at 0, there's a very good chance that the BMS, the battery management system, is just seeing that it has individual taps to the cell, and it could be essentially shutting the entire system down, which it should if you have a dead cell. So we're going to dissect. Now, anytime you're working with high voltage batteries, you have to be very, very careful. You can literally die if you touch the wrong part of the battery. So we're definitely going to be using our lineman gloves, and we have a guest today, Josh from Electrified Autonomy. So he has his own company where, well, I'll let you go ahead and explain it.
Sure. So I do electric vehicle conversions, and I've worked on both electric and combustion vehicles for about 15 years. In addition to that, I also make vehicles drive themselves.
So he's here to make sure that we don't die. No pressure, Josh.
So we've already pulled the fireman's disconnect so that we've split the battery pack in half. So we should have half the voltage. Nominal voltage is about 325, so we should be 160 or so volts. That also leaves one side of this module completely disconnected. So we should be safe removing one of the wires from one side of the pack. We'll wrap it in electrical tape, then remove the other wire from the other side of the pack, wrap that in electrical tape, and then we should be able to pull it out and disconnect the BMS tabs.
So we have two T30s to disconnect here. This is our first one.
Don't drop them.
Yeah. To be very careful here. These gloves don't make it easy to work with, but we don't want this tool to fall over there. And you know what? I'm gonna go like this. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I'm nervous right now. I'm nervous. I do not want to drop anything in here. This stuff definitely kind of freaks me out. There we go. Okay, and this is the power right now. And I'm going to hold this cable just in case it wants to fall. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to be pulling this out. Okay. There we go. That's out. Okay. Sweet. Next, I'm going to wrap this guy up in electrical tape, which is tough to do with these gloves, but it's okay. Gots to be safe. Don't want to get electrocuted today. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, there's that. We're just going to go ahead and just do a little bit more. It's kind of a little sloppy, but okay. I feel good about that. Okay, now I'm going to try pulling this module up. Wasn't sure if these things were actually bolted in or they're just sitting here. And, I think they're just sitting here. Oh, there we go. Let's see. We might be able to pull this guy up. There we go.
There you
go. Okay.
Now the module should just come out.
Oh, so close. This thing's heavy. And it's hot in here. Stop making noises that scare me.
There you go.
There we got it. Oh, whew. We got it. I don't know why I'm not running this thing outside right now. I should be. Okay. Oh, but hang on. We gotta look in this hole. Okay, so yeah, this is an air-cooled battery. That's a little motor. Yeah, that just pumps air through this guy. And then there's a ton of open room in here. Look at that. Could fit a whole nother bank of batteries in here. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's a ton of room in here. So we have the module right next to our big door here and on a rolling cart just in case we just, lights on fire and we just go like that right down to the parking lot. What do you think right off the bat?
Yeah, I can tell as soon as we got the module out that there's something wrong with it. So normally in production cells, you'll see packs that are similar to this, but they will have compression that holds them in very tightly on both sides. And this is the reason why, because as these cells go bad, they will start to bow and puff. And you can see this is even pushing the plastic out, so this is no longer square.
Wow.
And that usually indicates that there's some bad cells in there.
Yeah, this one is bowed as well. Mm-hmm. So the cell that is bad is the BB4. Okay. All right.
So this is one cell, this is another cell, this is another cell. So it's probably this one, I guess.
So obviously I'm not kidding about being safe. You really want to be safe, but especially with this one module out and everything being taped up over there, we're good. And this is only about 40 volts. Actually, this is the one with the bad cell, so it's like 35. It's only considered high voltage over 50, so we kind of don't even need the gloves at this point. But wear gloves all the time. We're just going to verify which cell is bad right now. There we go.
There we go, yep.
There's our dead one.
So these are actually the taps where it monitors the voltage, but these are between cells. So the cell pack itself is these two connectors right here.
Okay.
The terminals. So in order to get this out of here, we're going to have to cut these straps that are holding the whole pack together. And then we can take off this top, and then if we cut along these two terminals right here, we should be able to get that cell out. Now this may have some tension on it, so watch yourself.
Oh, okay, so hang on a second. That one popped out.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's probably part of the BMS. Those are just push-in cables.
Oh, perfect.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got to support the bottom, and yeah, it slides right off. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, wow. Look at how puffed those cells are. They've
wow.
completely split the holders.
Yeah.
So I recommend that we go ahead and cut the contacts on the bad cell and then try and snake it out of this group. The important part is we have to do our best not to contact this to here or this to here, because these are the positive and negative of one pouch, and this is the positive and negative of the next pouch. So
this is surgery. So this is pretty thin metal, so he's using a very sharp knife. I'm gonna slice along it. Slice number 2.
I think we're clear.
Yeah, that looks like we got all the way through. Okay. Nice, good job. A little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Josh, tell everybody what you're currently building right now, EV-wise.
Yeah, so at home I have a 1992 Nissan 240SX convertible, and I am turning that into electric.
And if you guys noticed here, we do have a flux capacitor. Yeah.
Yeah. I've,
couple of them.
Yeah.
Big Back to the Future fan.
A little bit of Back to the Future history here.
So this is kind of crazy. Josh emailed me about a month ago before I got my DeLorean. So, you know, we hadn't talked about DeLoreans or anything like that. He came to the shop today for the first time, and I'm like, "Are you a DeLorean guy?" He's like, "Yeah, I love Back to the Future." I'm like, "Get out." And I got the DeLorean, you know, in the shop. I don't even know how this happens. That's such a weird coincidence.
There we go. This should be the pouch we want to remove.
Yeah, we've opened up the garage door here.
Should be free now.
All right.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's pouch number 2. And Josh, so each cell has 2 pouches, it looks like?
Yeah, it seems like there's 2 pouches in parallel. So these are normally bonded together,
Okay.
and they are welded to the bus bars.
Okay.
Now we just need to find a couple of whatever that is.
Yeah, right. I mean, this couldn't have been something Bright made in-house,
No,
right?
absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. This is probably from a major Chinese battery manufacturer.
Okay.
I guess would be Calb, or yeah, there's a few of them. We'll find one.
Cool. Well, this is great news, guys. If we can replace any of the bad cells like you just saw right there, we can get this thing going. And the rest of them on there are measuring at 3.4. They seem to be fine. I've charged quite a few of these individually, and they hold for weeks and weeks without me plugging it in. So we might be okay. Look at this, guys. We found the cells. How much are these?
$5.
$5? What is this? What site? Is this Craigslist?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out where they are, but
21 days ago, no one's bought these. There's no one else out there buying these things. $5, they gotta be bad,
a lot
right?
of research, project, and prototype applications these can be used for.
That's exactly what this is used for.
Absolutely. That's the battery.
Well, on the Spaceman that cost over $2 million to build in 2010, we can now get replacement battery cells for $5 on Craigslist. And they're in California?
Yeah, just south of San Jose.
I might have to pay some shipping. I don't know. All right, well, it's a few days later, and guess what? The guy from Craigslist is not responding, and I can't find these cells anywhere else. They have to exist. I'm gonna pop up the part numbers right now. If you guys see any of these available, I could definitely use your help. Shoot me an email at legitstreetcars@gmail.com. But if we can't find those, not the end of the world, because Josh says the A123 14AH prismatic cells are very close. The dimensions are off by a little bit, but since I may be replacing everyone in that module, it won't really make that big of a difference. So I'll pop that up on the screen as well. If you guys find any of those cells for a good deal, let me know. They seem to be a lot more readily available. So I'll have a couple of options, but you guys have helped me out in the past, so I appreciate any info that you find on these cells. I want to get this van back up and running, and a big thank you to Josh. Amazing dude. He really helped me out, and he gave me the confidence to, you know, take apart the module. I'd never done anything like that before, so thank you, Josh. Now, we need to put the interior back together because we have a screen that works. So while we wait to figure out everything with the modules, let's go do that. Running into my light. Get out of here, light. Oh no, don't get out of here. I need you. Oh. We have to transfer this bracket, and there's some screws on the side. One here, and then one you get to through this little hole. There we go. We'll get this zip tie out of the way. All right, there's our bracket. We'll transfer that over. And I would just like to point something out. See the wear on this seat? This is mostly from me. Like, the seat was in really good condition when I got the van, and I haven't been getting in and out of it that many times or in any kind of weird fashion. This is just, it's really soft, but really bad material. I mean, seriously, I might have gotten in and out of the driver's seat maybe like 30 or 40 times since I've owned this van, and it's worn it down like it's got like 150,000 miles. It's crazy. It does feel really good though. It's just kind of thin, I guess. So what's kind of cool is we can eliminate this harness right here. They used to go to this guy, which we're not gonna be using any of this. This screen still has the same functionalities with this, but the screen looks fine. It's not that it has to be accessed like at all. That's why they had that one jammed in the dash, wrapped in tape. No one ever messed with it. Okay, so the screen goes in somewhere here. Looks good. And we have all of this that gets properly placed into its specific groove. Like that. And we'll just plug it in. We have USB. I got this guy here. And then our VGA. I'm laying this all out there just in case, you know, you guys need to do this to your concept space van. Then we have our Prius shifter going back in. There we go. Prius shifter is in. And we just have 4 screws holding this guy in. We have 4 screws for our touchscreen. This one got me so excited in the last video. I was like, sweet, I don't have to take the whole dash out. But then I realized it had screws coming in from this way. And I'm glad we got to take the dash out anyway to see that they used regular home insulation just jammed in here. Yeah, totally normal. I don't know why I'm plugging this in. It probably doesn't work, especially this climate control. There's really no climate control parts in this car, but we'll plug it in anyway. Random wires, great. Look at that fit and finish right there. It's looking like a real fake concept van again. Now we got to straighten out our insulation, tuck it in, and now we have the gigantic dash pad going in. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Just hide it all. Nothing to see here, folks. There we go. Oh man, I chipped this off. That stinks. I'll have to include that in the Craigslist listing when I go to sell this thing. I think we're all clipped in though. Dash is in. A pillar going back in. That's it. That's it. And we just kind of, this helps hold it in. Yeah. There we go. Last piece to close up the dash. This guy right here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you reinstall the dash on a Bright Idea van. Tutorial. Yeah, I made another chip too. This stuff is very, very delicate. But I gotta say, overall, this looks pretty good. I joke around about the fit and finish, but it's a concept vehicle. All right, watch, this screen doesn't want to work anymore. Yay. Come on, no input, what? Hey, there it is. Just takes a little while. That whole thing is booting up back there. It's extremely slow. There we go, Eco Drive. Okay, so obviously this wouldn't be ready for prime time. And I make fun of the van a little bit here and there. You guys have definitely been making fun of the van in the comment section, but everything is fake and kind of doesn't work on here because they needed to prove something specific, that they could build a van that could carry a bunch of stuff and get 100 miles per gallon. The air conditioning, working windows, a real infotainment system, that is all generally easy stuff in the world of producing vehicles. So they needed to get the loan, and then once these would go into mass production, obviously they would have all of these convenience features. They just needed to kind of like look like they were there. But yeah, so this crazy mouse thing that barely works, that wouldn't be there anymore. There we go, we're back. We're back. All right, let's see what energy says with one module out. Wow, it's reading 41 volts now. Okay, that makes sense. Since all these things are in series and we just cut it by quite a bit, it's dropped in voltage significantly. Oh man, one day, we will fix you with new batteries. But I gotta say, having this working right now, that is a big, big win. Although the touchscreen is very, very finicky, and I think I'm gonna have to space this screen out a little bit, but just details. We'll fix it. All right, turn off. There we go. All right, guys, even though the van is not driving yet, we have made significant progress here. We have a path to getting the high voltage battery to work again. We've gotten the screen to work on the inside. The whole dash is put back together, and hopefully I can find these battery cells. So in the next one, it might take me a little while depending on how long it takes to get these cells. We will rebuild the module, put it back in, and hope that that state of charge on the screen goes back up. I also have a different plug that we're gonna use so we can plug in a normal J1772 charger, so this thing could go to actual EV charging stations and just plug in like a normal EV. So anyway, in the next video, I'm driving this van no matter what. Knock on knock on Spacevan Air. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, share the video with your friends, subscribe to see more of this kind of madness, and most importantly, have a fantastic day. I'll catch all of you in the next video.